What I do ask is that this session is free and it's always going to be. I'm going to run this all the way up through April, probably April. And then we're going to change it to something else. So I'm always going to have a Friday session. It's always going to be free, but we might just talk about a different topic. Next at April, I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet, but we'll figure it out, right? Right now is how we use AI in the basic level. I'm going to show you how to use AI to craft a brand message, right? And this is the one thing that you should know about doing your branding in general. Write things down, right? And in your case, I'm just going to use your story with the Maya Heritage Center. The fact that one person holds those important details, that's a problem, right? We never want to give one person access to what seemingly right now is our brand life, right? Like we can't get into the things that we need to get into, whatever the circumstances may be. It needs to be housed in a central location and in a way that you can get to it quickly, right? And in a way that you can transfer the information over to the next person. All organizations go through changes. They go through different EDs, they go through different, people that hire, you go through different volunteers. The idea is to make sure that your culture and inside of your organization does not change and your systems are in place so that you can easily access this information. Make sense? So before we get into all the AI things that I can show you, let's go to some basic tech. Do you have a Google Drive? Okay. Create a shared folder that is only for your organization and people that have that ending piece of your email, right? We want security is a big thing. We don't want people accessing our shared drive with our sensitive information through their personal emails. And I tell people this all the time. If it is your organization, and let's just say you have a volunteer, if you are a nonprofit, you can get Google email addresses for free, right? They will never charge you for it. And you can set them up a volunteer email under your login, under your domain name, so that they can access your sensitive information. Never add them with their just regular Gmail account. Okay. Do you know how to get those free accounts? Do you have them already? All right, let me show you.
Because we have Weebly, we don't have Workspace.
Mm-hmm.
We are create the new site that we're gonna have is gonna be called mayaheritage.org,
Mm-hmm.
and there that's gonna be created in Workspace. But the
So
one that I have right now is info at mayaheritagecenter.org, and that's the one that I had share my drive
yeah,
and documents with one volunteer.
and that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. We go through this. I call them founder woes, where we have the bad hires, we have the people that have taken advantage, and now we're like, all right, we've got to get back to where we need to be, which is growing and supporting. So I'm gonna pull up this for you real quick so that you can do this on your own time. But this is what you are a 501c3, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to give you this website because it gives you all of the different discounts that you can get with your 501c3 status. And we like the free things over here. We like the paid things. Paid things are good too. But if we can get them for free, why not? Right? So
Also, you can always get Microsoft too if you prefer
yeah,
one
all of
over the
it.
other. Just I have both, and it's driving me insane because I'm like, guys, we've got to standardize.
Yeah.
So I tried doing Notion, but getting people to adopt any one by themselves is a mess.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm glad you're here, Jane, because you can support me with some of this tech conversation too. All right, so TechSoup is the go-to for all nonprofits. Jump into TechSoup, make your account, right? They're going to verify that you're a nonprofit with your 501c3 status, and then you get access to all of these free softwares. Free, discounted, even when it comes down to like laptops and like hardware that you need, you can get it from TechSoup. Okay, they've got all the support you need here. So I would go into this, create your account, get that free stuff, and then start here first, right? If you're starting to figure out what your infrastructure looks like, how you can keep things in the same place, this is the same place you'll be able to get Google Workspace for free. And I know that you're saying you're using Weebly, but let me kind of break down the difference between what you're doing. Weebly is a website hosting platform, right? So I'm just have my website hosted here. People can go access my website. I can go and edit my website here, but it does not host your emails. Google Workspace, Microsoft would be your email hosting platform, right? And that's what I'm saying. Come here and get for free. So that now when you set up your back end and you have your new volunteers, or even when you have your web designer, you would set up a web design at mayaheritage.org. And that is the email login that that new web designer will use to sign into your web hosting platform, to sign into their Google Drive or what have you, so that you always have access to it. Does that make sense? And we can
Yes.
talk a little bit more about like how you would set up those parameters, because we can do that in the back end and make sure that you as an admin have all the control and they can't delete things, they can't take things away. Like we can do those configurations, but this would be your first step, is just to get the software and get approved. When you do, send me a message and we'll do the next step. Okay?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. Because I don't want to overwhelm you, because I know how tech gets, but this will be your first step. Let's get the software first. Okay. So sign up for TechSoup for free so you can have that. Outside of that, let's jump for a second to my favorite girly, Claude. And we are going to work with Claude in conjunction to your fave ChatGPT, in conjunction to my fave Perplexity, to create you a website, and how we would do this effectively. Understand this about design. I don't care I don't know who told you or who started telling you this, but you need to have strategy first. Don't just go in and start making things, right? Figure out what it's supposed to look like, what you're trying to convey before you give it to someone and say, build us a website. Because oftentimes you give them that and they're like, okay, I think it's supposed to look like this. And it's very far off from what your culture is, like what you're supposed to be doing and conveying to your audience. So we're going to use AI to build us some messaging. One of the things that actually Jane and some other people kind of prompted me to do is to more so talk about how you prompt these AIs, right? Like, what do you say to get the best output? Let's just say, for the love of God, you never go get the paid account. You're just always just going to use the free account. Fine. There's other different ways that you can prompt the AI to give you the best output without having to have those customs. I just don't promote it because I feel like you're not saving time. Like AI is supposed to. Okay. So we're gonna use Claude first. Um, I'm going to actually, I'll do this live with you guys. I have someone I need to build something for. So here's what I'm gonna do. She has a website. Felicity, when you watch this, I used your stuff. So shout out to you. All right, so she has a website. This is a client of mine who has a company called Plug Me. And what she does is connect influencers and brands to different partnerships, right? And it's almost like a business besties, like dating app almost, right? Like you can connect with other people that are doing the same things. And but what she came to me for is actually wanting to build. Did she leave my name here? No, we changed the name. So we want to build out PitchPal, which is an AI powered assistant that'll help brands stand out. Okay. Now, Felicity already has a good brand, and because you're rebranding, you have something too. So I'm just going to start by taking Felicity's website here, and I'm going to go over to Claude. I'm going to drop the website here. Did I activate web search? I think I did. I think it's already activated. It did just pop up here. All right, girl, you got a lot going on. Okay. So I'll tell Claude this is the website I'm building. Spell, Kayla. To do some quick stuff like this. Change up some of these words. An AI powered assistant. We'll need all that. With so gave it a quick overview of the brand I'm working with currently, what I'm looking to build, and then I want to say, create a compelling and witty, because that's her personality, brand messaging story so that I can build the app around the same language. Okay, set some parameters. Create a compelling and witty brand messaging story that I can use to build the app around the same language, right? We want to keep what I'm building for her consistent with what she's already got. So in your case, you're not necessarily wanting to change the internal culture of your messaging, right? You just want to figure it out. So what I would do in either of your cases, if you're trying to do this for somebody else or do this for yourself, take what already exists and build upon it, right? Give it to the chat. So I'm gonna give it to Claude, see what Claude gives me. While Claude's doing this thing, I'm going to, you guys are watching my ADHD in prime time. This is exactly how it works. Typically, I have like 4 different screens. You can't see them, but I'm using all these different tabs so you can see how my brain processes information. All right. I'm going to, I have Claude open here, and now I'm going to my social impact master. If you were here a couple of sessions ago, I built this one to help us with messaging and language to impact socially effectively using the right kind of wording, right? So I'm going to use this one so that it gives me what I need. Let's come back. All right, boom. Here it is. All right. So once again, it's not your brain. Please read. So I'm going to read it to make sure it makes sense because this is a real life client. I don't want her to be mad that I just threw something up there.
So how do we find this link?
Links
I
to
mean,
what?
is it public? Is it available in the
You
cloud
know what?
or in the chat?
This one is available for you.
That one. Yeah.
I'm going to send this to you
Social
right now.
Impact Master.
I'm going to give this to you right now. I gave this out last session.
Okay.
Let me
Social
escape.
Impact.
All right, this is in here for you guys to use. All right, make sure you save that to your GPTs so you can have them. All right, so let's look. Boom, boom, boom. From spark to stand out. That's corny. I don't like that. Understanding that chat has no lived experience, right? So it's gonna come out with some real corny stuff. All right, so I'm gonna copy all of this. And I'm gonna go to chat to my social impact master, and I'm gonna say, humanize this brand story. And then create web copy. Copy and paste. All right. I always ask the chat to humanize the text because sometimes, if not all the time, it's going to talk like a robot. It's going to talk in ways that I don't speak. And I would never ask my clients to speak because none of us are robots. Okay. So you can see, let me go and see if I can pull them up side by side so you can see. Here's the humanized brand story. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so we can see them both at the same time. Let me move these to be on the same side. There's one, and uh-oh, I lost it. Where's the other one? My goodness, work. Sorry, y'all. The tech is taking.
How many screens are you working with over there?
Don't embarrass me, Jane. All right, here we go. Let me see. Share and share. This is what I wanted to do in the session, but that Ring Central doesn't allow us. All right, so I just kind of wanted you to see the screen side by side. You guys see both of those? Okay. So this is what Claude gave us out, and this is the humanized piece of it. As you can see, it's significantly shorter because who talks that much? I don't even talk that much, right? And on top of that, understand this about web design. People, I say this with all love, people cannot read. Like we do have like our president can't read. I need y'all to know that. Okay. So because people cannot read and they won't read, we want to use as little words as possible to get a strong point across. Does that make sense? You know how powerful and impactful your program is. You know how powerful and impactful what you're doing is. The idea of a digital story is just that, it's a digital story. I don't want a whole bunch of words on a website. I don't want a whole bunch of things to click around. Pop ups make me gag, right? I want to get to the point. And if you put yourself in the eyes of a consumer or someone that's uses websites all the time, you have gotten on websites, they've had way too much going on. You only went there to find a booking link. You've got to scroll. You don't want to do it anymore. You clicked off. You don't even want the service anymore. You don't want to even be involved, right? You don't want people to do that with your website either. Jane, I saw you was about to say something.
And so I'm just thinking about my long form that was 51 pages. Now it's very structured with headers and things, but sending that to pharmaceutical corporate sponsorships, I'm pretty sure they don't read any of it except for, they hop down to one piece and they're like, okay, you got what we need. Here's your money.
Right, right. Even when it comes to proposal and grants, it's the same idea, right? Like just answer whatever they're asking you. Don't give them anything extra. Don't give them anything extra. And so I'll tell you the reason why I'm so good at this. My mom has been a government contractor. How old am I? 32. So for 31 years, she's been a government contractor and she talks about the same things. She's like, I don't have time to read all this unnecessary stuff. If I've asked you for a number, don't give me a number and an explanation. I don't care. All I want to know is what the number is. Tell me how much it's going to cost me. Answer my questions directly. Don't give any more fluff. So do the same. The same goes for all of your websites, all of your branding. Give people something that they want to watch and something they want to read, knowing that what you want to read is not what they want to read. This is about your target. It's not about you, right?
Right.
I'll read this all day long, but my target won't care. Okay. So take a look at this. This is the brand story. We've humanized it, right? And this is something that you should do consistently is get web copy. Okay. If you do this before you hand it off to a web designer, you've now taken control of your messaging. Does that make sense? It's easy to hire someone and say, or even get a volunteer and say, hey, we need a website. But if you don't tell them what needs to go on the website, what words to use, what buttons you're looking for, what's my call to action, where's the links that they're supposed to be gone to, you're going to leave that up to their judgment. And most of the time, their judgment is wrong. Okay. It's not many people that like, so what we do differently here is we strategize with you before we build. Many people do not do that. They are willing to take your money and give you whatever it is that you've asked for. And sometimes you can't even be mad at that because it's what you asked for, right? So if you build a website copy, you make it very plain to the person that's you're working with what you need to have on that website and how it needs to look, right? So I'm going to use this website copy for PitchPal, which is the name of it. She has not given me the logo yet, but I do know the brand guidelines. And I'm actually going to show you because I know she won't mind what a good brand guideline template would look like so that you can do the same thing for your organization as well. Okay. Every time you have something created, if you're working with a branding agency, you're working with a marketing person, you always want to have a brand guide. That guide should show that individual what colors to use down to the color codes. It should show them what fonts they're supposed to use. It should have a section where you are showing them what the vibe of your brand is, like what is the inspiration here, what kind of imagery they should be using. It should be that detailed. And I know it sounds like a lot, but when I show you this, you're going to be like, oh, it's not that much that goes into it. It's not, right? You'll be able to do this very easily. I'm looking for where she sent me this drive folder so I can send it to you guys. Okay, well, I'm going to pull it here because here's the. All right, so this is her brand guidelines. Let me. There's. I'm going to pull up in her Canva. All right, so this is Plug Me. These are her brand guidelines. We did not do this. What should be noted is that Felicity also does branding herself, so she's really good at what she does. She just doesn't do AI, and that's where I come into play. So this is her brand guidelines. This is how it gets set up, and this is what you want to make sure is created for your organization as well. This is to keep everybody on the same page, okay? Because if for whatever reason I decide to use yellow and yellow's not one of these colors, oh, she's going to be pissed, right? Because that's not according to her brand guidelines. It's off brand. It does not match the messaging. Do the same thing for your organization. Or better yet, when you hire someone and they're supposed to be doing your branding, you tell them or ask them, are you going to be providing me a brand guideline? Are you
That's
going to be providing
actually
me a written strategy?
right out of Canva, isn't it?
Yeah, so she
The
created this right in
branding.
Canva. Very easy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Very easy. Okay, so you can do this right here. You can do this with the software and you can get Canva for free as a nonprofit if you didn't know. You can definitely get Canva for free. You can do this right here inside, right? So if you set up, my whole point of even saying this is if you set this up so that you have all this back end information, the building part comes easy. Okay. So I don't want to overload you. Does that make sense? We're on the same page. Do you have any questions? Can I answer before we move forward?
Yes, that's great. You need to have all of these different contents that you are building up in order to manipulate them with AI in
Right.
a total different level.
And it'll save you time, right? Imagine not having to write it down over and over again. You can just upload the document that you've already made. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing here. Actually, we're going to keep this over here. And so now let me show you, because this is what you want, right? You want the cool stuff. How do we get to building? So let's use one of my favorite building platforms. Let me make sure I save this photo because I'm going to need this. I'm going to make this bigger.
Now, when you have the Canva free, it doesn't allow you to do a lot of things. A lot of
No,
things.
because if you have the nonprofit free version, you can do everything.
Oh, really?
You've got to go in and register as a nonprofit, and they will give you a free pro account. You'll be able to use all the stuff.
Okay, okay. I'll go
It
do that.
actually gives you up to 10, I think, users in the
Yeah,
team.
it does. I think they just upped it to like 15, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Wonderful.
Lots of free things that you can get as a nonprofit. Lots of free things. So I'm going to download this image so that I can have this. And then I'm going to show you how we get to building. All right, so there's a couple of different platforms that I use to build websites. Weebly is a good one. It's not my favorite. Wix is good, right, for individuals that need like a total encompassing like back end. You need to do events. You've got, bookings that you have. Wix is really good at holding all of that stuff in the back end. But if you are not a designer, Wix might be a little hard for you, right? Squarespace is another good one for beginners. But because of the nature of your industry and what you're doing, I would not use Squarespace because it does not give you a lot of design options. Squarespace is more like template based, right? It's like you can pull up a template and use that template, and templates make me ick. I hate it. So I like a lot of things that are customized. What I like to use is this AI platform that came out of Sweden called Loveable.dev. Okay. Loveable.dev is your AI engineer. You tell it what you want to do and it'll build it. Okay. So let me show you something. We're going to take that brand guide. I'm going to upload that brand guide. I'm going to go back over. I'm going to open back up chat. And I'm going to show you how to do this as if you were doing it for yourself, right? And this is actually the same process that I go through to get me started, okay? So I got the website copy here. That's cool. One thing to know about Lovable is that you can copy and paste this whole thing, but same thing I told you last time with AI, it's not about to read all that shit, okay? Break it up. Give it some time. So I'm going to ask it, I'm literally going to tell the AI what I'm going to do, and I'm going to ask it to give me the output that I need. So I'm going to say I'm using Loveable's AI agent to build the MVP. For you, you can just say website of this product. Can you create a prompt I can give the agent? Boom. Yes, I can. Of course you can. So it's giving me the prompt. It's going to give me everything that I need to now copy and paste into Lovable. I need you to understand the difference between what's all the way up here, what we first originally did, versus what we're giving Lovable. Do you see how it broke it down into small bite-sized pieces, right? That's how the AI reads. It's not going to read a whole bunch of words that are up here. It doesn't care about any of this. It's not going to pick it up. But if you tell it step by step, these are the core personas, period. I don't need an explanation. These are the MVP features, period. I don't need an explanation, right? And because I have some other information I need to upload, I'm going to upload that too, just so I can get the right one and I don't have to do this twice. Shout out to you guys. I need you guys to understand that this is what we call body doubling as a someone that has ADHD. I get work done by having other people around me. So I'm teaching you and working as I go. So I can knock this out pretty easy.
What it is a MVP for you?
MVP is your minimum viable product, right? And that's typically what we refer to if we're building software. Like this is our first version of it, right? It might not work the way that we envision it all the way through, but it'll give somebody a proof of concept of what we're trying to build, right? That's an MVP. For you, you could just say website. You don't have to use those words. Okay. All right, let me download this file so that I can get that going. I'm on the wrong side.
So I notice you have other presentations during the month. As you well said, I like to invite the new person that is going to be in charge of what we are putting together a new website into your next workshop.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank
you. Of course, it's absolutely fine. Last time, the first 3 times I was in here, I had someone that hosted a radio show. She invited her whole team. I'm down for it. As much as we can help, is that what we're going to do? Okay, so I need to make sure I get the right output here. So I'm going to go over to, let's hide these controls. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to say update with these requirements. Upload that file that I got from her with the overview. That's also a document that we worked on together. So it's made the review. I'm going to read it as we do it. She's not going to like that spark to stand out. Pitch with confidence. She's not going to like that. I'm going to have to get creative with that. All right, so it updated it for me. Those are the feature partnership proposal generator. That's right. Remember, I said it's an AI, so you have to make sure that it's doing what you asked it to do. Don't just blindly trust it. All right, so I'm not going to copy this whole thing, but what I am going to copy is this all the way up until tech integrations. And I'll tell you why. Loveable will decide its own tech integrations, right? You don't have to tell it. Unless it's that specific to what you're building. Like I want to make sure you're using OpenAI, don't use anything else, then you'll be able to tell it that. But for this, I don't need to do all that. So let's go back to Loveable. Let's add it in. Boom, boom, boom. I also do this. I build in public, in private, so that people can't see my stuff. If you build in public, then anyone can take your project and what they call it is remix it and build their own. I'm selfish in that manner. It's mine. So I'm doing it that way. Loveable also connects. This is more so for you, Jane, because you're more techie. Loveable also connects to GitHub and Figma and like all those other different spaces that we can build and make things on. What you're going to see here is Loveable is working actively to process our requests and give it what we need. All right. So boom, Pitch Pal is what you want. I'm going to create it for you. It's pulling those brand colors that I have, using the same typography. All of those are correct. And it's just going to start building, right? So it's going to give me the first version, a landing page to introduce the project, an onboarding workflow. Cool, cool. And let it do its thing. While that's doing that, right? Because I don't need to watch this build. What I do want to do is to go over here, and this is where we get into SEO, right? Search engine optimization. Go ahead.
Question.
I'm listening.
So the other page is building actually the language of the code for the website?
It is.
Oh,
and you'll be able to see it.
Okay, okay. Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you.
I like to see the code get built because sometimes that's just me. Don't worry about that. All right, so I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to get the best SEO for this website, your search engine optimization. These are also things that you can use in Loveable in conjunction. So because I need to do some research, I'm going to take this web copy. That's too much. That's too much. Right here. I'm going to take this full web copy. I'm going to go to Perplexity. I'm actually going to change this to deep research. And I wanted to think a little bit harder. I'm building this website Here is the copy, create an SEO plan and strategy. All right, SEO. Quick overview. SEO is search engine optimization. It's literally how people find you online. Okay, that's it. And that's probably the biggest thing when it comes to digital marketing in the digital space. If people can't find you, it's like that you don't exist, right? If you meet someone and you say, hey, what's your LinkedIn? What's your Instagram? What's your whatever? And they don't have one, you're like, you're not a real person. You're a scammer. You're trying to take me away. No, like you have to have something, right? The same goes for your organization. So what I'm doing with Perplexity right now is I'm actually using Perplexity to do research to build me the best SEO plan. Okay. Remember, I'm using AI to teach the AI to build AI. It's the same process. I'm showing you everything that I do on a day to day. Okay.
What is the SEO?
SEO is search engine optimization. So when you go to Google something, right, and that web page comes up, that's SEO. So when someone Googles the Maya Heritage Center, you should pop up and not on the 5th page of the results, on the 1st page. Right? And so this is what I'm doing for her site as it's building the SEO. Let's go over here and check on the site. See how the site's doing. Oh, I'm still not ready yet. All right, still cooking, still cooking. We got some time. Here's the thing about Loveable, before it even does it, because it does it sometimes. It is in AI. It will hallucinate, and you do have to get it back on track. Okay? So you'll see if there's a problem, if it does not build correctly, it'll tell you. Our AI had a hiccup, it broke the app. Just hit fix, and it's going to fix itself, right? It's going to work through the code and figure out what's going on. Loveable is very user friendly. I'm not even going to mention the other platform today because it's very much so you got to be a heavy coder to really understand how to work that one. But this one, you should be able to talk to it to get what you need, and at least if you just need somewhere for people to land, you can do that here in Loveable. Okay, I'm going to let that do its thing, and we'll jump back over to it. But I want to show you something with Loveable that might be able to help, and I'm actually going to show you with my personal website. All right. Where is my website? All right, so this is my website. I redid my entire website, right? And I did it in Lovable. Now that I have the website completed, I can click publish, and Lovable now allows you to add your own domain. Before you couldn't do that. Now you can, right? You can literally click add, connect your custom domain, add a domain that you own. If you purchase your domain off of like GoDaddy or you've done like Blue Gator or any of those, you'll be able to connect it just like this, right? Just type in your domain. It's going to tell you where you got it from. It's going to read it. It's going to walk you through the steps on how to connect your domain to your website. Okay. If you're building something bigger, I'm more so talking to Jay now. If you're building something bigger, I would not do it this way, right? I would connect it to GitHub. So I would make sure it's in my GitHub repository, and then I would connect it to Versal and then deploy it, right? I would not do it this way for if I'm building like a CRM like I do. Like I'm not custom things, I'm not going to do it this way because there's no protection, right? At least this way there is. The other thing about it is if you are, let me jump to another one. If you are, no, I'll keep it here. If you are having like login users or people that have like paywall screens, like you can only access this paid version type of thing, you would need to connect Superbase, which is the backend storage piece, right? And so Superbase does the authentication and all those good things. I can get in here and I can show you real quick what that looks like. So it manages all of your users, all of your edge functions, all of the different APIs that you have, any kind of secret codes, all of it's going to be stored in Superbase and it's safe and secure, and that's housed in AWS. Okay. Let's jump over to PitchPal, see if we got something. All right, see that? Knew it was going to do it. Build unsuccessful. See where it says app had an error? Let's try to fix it. Try to fix it. If you don't see that button pop up there, you can always click in and then hit try to fix right there, but typically it pops up. All right, so it says analyzing it, something happened, something broke. I'm going to fix it. Let it do its thing. Let's jump back over here. See what we got. Still searching. All right, we're done with this. We'll close that out. Shout out to Felicity. All right, that's there. I'm gonna scroll to the bottom of this because the next thing we're gonna do is actually take the SEO plan and build the SEO inside of chat. Am I teaching you guys something? Are you learning something good? Okay, cool. No, it's like my number one thing to never waste your time. I don't like it. I don't like wasting time. While we have a little bit of time and things are building, I'll show you this. And this is the one that I said is more more intuitive for if you are a coder, you understand like technical terms. So I'm just going to show you something a little bit cool. I told you I have ADHD and sometimes I do two things in two different platforms because I want to see what it looks like. All right, so I'm building my internal CRM for my company right now. I'm tired of paying subscriptions, so I'm building my own stuff. And I wanted to see what it would look like on Loveable versus what it would look like on Replit, which is the other platform. So this is it's broken. It's broken. And this is what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can roll it back so you can see what it looks like. The app just decided to crash. So this is more intuitive if you understand, technical terms, you are a developer, you can get, dang, I can't roll back. Oh no. I broke it. I broke it. But that's what happens with Replit. Like when you break things with Replit, it's like sometimes you can't even come back from it. Let me try something else. Replit has two different things. Replit has an agent, AI agent, the same way that oh, it's back. Hold on. Hold on. Did we do it? Did we do it? Okay. I didn't break it. I rolled it back. Okay. Replit has the same thing that Loveable has, which is the agent. That'll do it for you. Agent and assistant are two different things when it comes to AI. An agent will work by itself. You can tell it what to do and it'll do it. An assistant is just that. It's going to assist you, but it's not going to do it unless you tell it, right? So Replit has two, the assistant and the agent. I use them both depending on what's going on. But just to get back to the build, right? So I literally use the same prompts to build this entire thing. And you can see the difference in how it built these two different CRMs. One, I feel like is very much so user friendly, very just, eye poppy, catchy. I can get to it really quickly. This, the one in Replit, and it goes back to being a coder, the one that's in Replit does not feel like it has any kind of positive UI for me, right? Like it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not great either, right? Like I feel like Loveable is really giving me the energy that I want, especially if I'm going to be giving it to clients that are not tech savvy. I don't want them to look at the platform and be like, I don't want to use it. It's making me cringe, right? I don't get that from Lovable. I do
Got
get
that
that.
Tableau type.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This looks like Salesforce original.
I hate it.
Or
Listen,
maybe Act. Maybe
I'm
Act.
the biggest Salesforce hater you know. Like I can't stand it. Okay. Let's see. All right, still broke. Oh, there it is. All right, so well, that's cute. That's cute. Let it fix its code. But as you can see, boom, website has been created. Okay. Now, this is just her landing page. This is not the full thing that I need to make for her, but I just kind of wanted to give you an overview of what this would look like, right? And if you were able to create this using the different AIs, you can jumpstart what you're doing. Even in your case, for the Maya Heritage Foundation, if you created this, right, this one landing page, and you gave it to a web designer, should be able to tell them, make mine look like this. I did this on my own. I can't connect any of the back end stuff. I don't know how to do that, right? But this is my vision. This is what I want it to look like. If they're not able to replicate that, that's not the designer for you.
That's like, basically when you give them wireframes. So if you ever
Exactly.
have any freelancers ask you specifically for wireframes or what have you, all they're asking is that they need a look and feel. They'll always ask, are there any websites you like? So I
Mm-hmm.
really like this and how it's done it because then you get more input to put in there to say, I really like the way this looks. Make
Yeah.
this happen.
Yeah. And you know what you can also do? I've got like 2 minutes. You know what we can also do? You can hit this edit button. This is a new feature they've created. You hit this edit button and you can select individual things you want to manipulate. Right? So if I don't like that, I can tell it change these words, and it'll change that only. right? So use that edit feature to your advantage. You can also still attach things if you needed to, like if you need to attach other pictures or other things that you wanted to use. Like once she gives me her logo, I'll attach the logo here and I'll select this and say switch that, switch it up with the new logo. And then this is how you access the other pages. This is also something that Replit does not have. You've got to go searching for it. But up here, if you want to see the other pages it created, just hit that drop down and you can go to it. If it does not, oh, that's beautiful. Chef's kiss. If that does not create the way that it wants to, sometimes it'll just give you the link and say like 404 not found type thing. You would stay on this page and then you would go back into the platform and say, hey, this page is not found, created, right? Or very simply say, build out this page. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, we learned a lot today. My goodness.
Yes,
How do
this
we
was
feel?
awesome.
I have a question.
I'm listening.
Um, for I'm also very, very basic. I don't know any programming. So if I have a website already where like I use HostGator.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you do so are you able to like screenshot? Like how do you do that? Or like how do you
Yeah, so if you want to
develop?
rebuild your website on a platform like Lovable, right? You can
Okay.
absolutely take a screenshot of your website and then upload it to Lovable and say, rebuild me my website based on this.
Okay, I understand. I
You
understand what you're saying. Okay.
can
Thank you.
absolutely do that. Just download the full screenshot. Okay. All right, guys. How do we feel? You guys good?
Wow, that's this is a recap, but guess what? I still need to do a couple of more recaps
Yeah.
because I am not a tech savvy, and
Mhm.
it takes even the minimal, the basic things I didn't know, like SEO and
Mhm.
other things
Mhm.
I start learning. But I just have the contact of our person who is going to help us with our website.
Okay.
His name is Matt. I just got his contact
Nice.
because I didn't even have that. So now, but with you, I'm able to engage close and create a closer relationship so that he comes on board and he will be happy to use these tools.
Yeah.
Catherine just told me, so
Ah, nice.
that'd be great. Yeah,
Nice.
thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely come back next Friday. I'll figure out what we're talking about as we go, but I'm here to support, right? I hope that you guys got something out of this and I was able to, give you some new things to use.
Yeah, I'll definitely would like to hear it again, and I think you're recording it.
Yeah, so
And
what I'm gonna do is as I'm done, I'm actually gonna stop it now. So